Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whenever you are watching this. Welcome to Mentor Mornings, my friends, where we share wisdom from people far wiser than myself to help you own your day and fuel your journey. Have you ever wondered what is the secret to lasting happiness? Not the momentary blip on the radar where we feel that joyful surrender to life just for a moment and then it's back to the grind, but lasting peace and lasting happiness inside of our life. You know, we were just talking about in the previous video that I made on Saturday about how we are more successful when we come from this place of happiness, how life and success stem from that feeling of internal peace that we can create inside of our life. The secret of happiness is something that we have sought and tried to understand. Humanity has tried to understand this for eons. There are many philosophers and people who have laid out like structures of how we can find happiness inside of our life. And when we go back and we look at those, we can discover something for our own lives and how we move forward. And perhaps there's a nugget inside of each one of these people that we can look at and we can incorporate. And all of a sudden, we're living a life where we feel that internal peace on a daily basis. So Seneca was a first century philosopher. He was a man of great power. He advised emperors, and he was also a very wealthy man due to his own business dealings. So he published many essays on philosophy, finding inner peace, happiness, the dealings with others, and the dealings of life. He was a true stoic philosopher that many people reference today. And so let's look at 6 rules that Seneca, or 6 principles that Seneca spoke about as the secrets of happiness inside of our life. So number 1 was develop solid ethics and a positive mental attitude. Positive mental attitude. So he says, a good character is the only guarantee of everlasting carefree happiness. Even if some obstacle to this comes on the scene, its appearance is only to be compared to that of clouds which drift in front of the sun without ever defeating its light. So if we can develop that core place that we come from, the internal positive mental attitude, that will be what carries us through the times of trouble, the times of turbulence inside of our life. So we cannot control the outside circumstances, but we do control what's inside, and developing that core, that understanding of how to deal with trouble and difficulty inside of our minds is one of the first steps to navigating life and creating that place of peace and happiness that we can enjoy with every waking moment. My friends, let's go to number 2. By the way, if you appreciate this video, please hit the thumbs up button, share if you feel it is worthwhile, and subscribe, my friends, if you have not already, because Mentor Mornings comes to you 6 days a week with tons of valuable wisdom on the art of living and perseverance in life. Number 2, find value and gratitude in what you have now in this moment. Now in this moment. He says true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he or she that is so wants nothing. Isn't that a valuable goal to reach for, to have a life where we want nothing? If we're always seeking something in the outside world to fill that internal gap, that missing piece, we're looking for that thing on the outside, and we're never able to feel complete right now with where we're at. So finding the value and gratitude in what we have now in this moment. Number 3, measure yourself by your own achievements. So he says, continually remind yourself, Lucilius, of the many things that you have achieved. When you look at all the people out in front of you, think of all the ones behind you. Think of how many people you've outdone. Why be concerned about others? Come to that when you've outdone your own self. Why be concerned about others? When we're looking for success or happiness or to be proficient in some skill or to do something, oftentimes we develop heroes, these people, these mentors that guide us in our pursuits. And it's easy to compare ourselves to where they're at now, they're on their chapter 20 and we're still on chapter 5. And when we do that, we put ourselves in this place where we feel like we're coming from a place of lack, where we're not enough. And so what Seneca is saying here is to measure yourself by what you have achieved inside of your life, because we all have massive achievements, things inside of our life that we can be proud of. And if we don't take the time to revisit those, to feel gratitude for what we have done and gratefulness, and to feel pride for the achievements that we've completed. If we're comparing ourselves to others, we come from a place of lack. Number 4, we are social beings. Love and be loved. Seneca says there is no enjoying the possession of anything valuable unless one has someone to share it with. Unless one has someone to share it with. There was a time when I was in my early 20s, I got a motorcycle and I took it and I rode down the coast of California through the redwood trees, and I saw the ocean, and I went through Oregon, one of the most amazing trips of my life. I saw some of the most beautiful things I'd ever experienced. Yet there was something missing, and that's that when I was standing there, overlooking the ocean, totally overwhelmed by its beauty and the power, I felt alone. I didn't have anybody to share it with. Those countless hours sitting on the motorcycle singing to myself to keep myself company. We are social animals. And we all need some people inside of our lives, some loved ones. It doesn't mean a significant other. It just means that we have people inside of our lives that we can share with. And that is what gives our life fullness, abundance. Let's go to number 5, guys. Number 5. And if you appreciate this, please hit the thumbs up button. Temperance. Temperance. So what Seneca says is, never to wrong others takes one a long way towards peace of mind. People who know no self-restraint lead stormy and disordered lives, passing their time in a state of fear, commensurate with the injuries they do to others, never able to relax. So temperance and self-direction, self-restraint, being able to hold ourselves back, to restrain ourselves when pleasure I'm having a brain fart, I can't remember the other word. When there's pleasure or something or desire that's pulling us towards something, if we're able to self-restrain and hold ourselves back, to exercise temperance will take us to another level of happiness. And guys, number 6, this is the final one. This is the key. This is the one that I try every day to incorporate inside of my life. I make real action and habits inside of my life to make this a reality. And that is to live inside of this moment, and this moment. Not to live in the past, or the future, but right now. Seneca says, life's finest days for us poor human beings fly first. Every day as it comes should be welcomed and reduced forthwith into its own possession, as if it were the finest day imaginable. What flies past has to be seized at. Every moment passes by us. It flies by us. Like Marcus Aurelius talks about us living, it's like a river. Every moment is passing by us, and right now you can seize this moment today. Live as if it were the finest day imaginable, my friends, because today is yours. Rise unconquered. I will see you tomorrow with Mentor Mornings. Please subscribe if you are not already, and I will see you then, my friends. Rise unconquered.